He found the USB drive on a wet road, just outside his office building. It was small, black, and unmarked, except for a tiny sticker with a single word scratched onto it: tomorrow. Alex Reed was a data analyst, someone who spent his days buried in code spreadsheets and meaningless reports. Nothing ever surprised him, until that night he bent down, picked up the USB, and felt an odd warmth pulsing through it, as if it was alive. He looked around, but no one was there. Rain dripped from the streetlights. The sound of distant thunder rumbling. He pocketed it, thinking maybe someone dropped it, but deep down, he felt something tugging him to plug it in. When he reached his apartment, he tossed his wet jacket aside and stared at the USB lying on his desk. It looked ordinary, but something about it felt wrong. He hesitated, then inserted it into his laptop. The screen flickered for a moment, and a folder appeared. Do not open until midnight. He frowned. It was 11:47 p.m. Curiosity gnawed at him. He opened it anyway. Inside was a single video file named Alex_Reed_21_10_2025. His birthday was October 21st. That was today. He froze for a second. His pulse quickening, he clicked play. The video opened to a dimly lit room. The camera was shaking slightly, and in that room sat someone who looked exactly like him, older, tired, and pale. If you're watching this, a man on screen said, it means you found the drive, and you ignored the warning. You always ignore the warnings, Alex. His breath caught. What kind of joke was this? He leaned closer, staring at his double on screen. You don't have much time, the video continued. Everything you know about your life changes in 24 hours. At exactly midnight tomorrow, you'll die unless you do exactly as I say. Alex felt his stomach twist. The man continued. You'll get a phone call at 9:03 a.m. tomorrow. Do not answer it, no matter what happens. If you do, they'll find you. They always find you. The video ended. Abruptly, Alex sat frozen, rain tapping against his window. Was this some prank, deepfake, or AI trick? He rewound it multiple times. The voice, the mannerisms, even the nervous twitch in the left eyebrow, all perfectly his own. He checked the files. Metadata, it showed it was created 2 days later than today, dated October 23rd, 2025. That's impossible, he whispered. He disconnected the USB and stared at it as if it would explain itself. The clock struck midnight. His lights flickered for a split second, and his laptop shut down completely. When he restarted it, the video was gone. Only a new file appeared called You Already Did. He clicked it, but it was empty. He shut the laptop, his skin crawling, unable to sleep. He kept hearing the voice from the video echoing in his head. Do not answer the call at 9:03 a.m. When the alarm buzzed in the morning, he laughed at himself. Maybe he was just overtired. Maybe someone from work was pulling a prank. He went about his morning as usual. But when the clock on his phone turned 9:03, his phone began to ring. The caller ID just said, unknown. His breath caught. He hesitated, then declined it right after that. His window exploded inward, glass shattering across the room. He ducked down, heart racing. He looked outside. A black van screeched to a halt across the street. 2 men in dark suits stepped out, scanning the area. One of them lifted a device that beeped rapidly like a tracker. They pointed toward his building. Target signal confirmed. One said. Alex grabbed his bag, bolted for the back door, his mind spinning. This couldn't be real, yet everything felt terrifyingly. So he ran through the alley, heart pounding. His phone vibrated again. Another call, same number. He ignored it. The vibration stopped after a few seconds, and a text appeared. You made the right choice for now. His blood went cold. He reached a crowded subway station, blended in among people, and boarded the next train, trying to think straight. Who would go to such lengths for a prank? The USB had to be something else. Maybe government data, maybe some experimental thing. He got off 2 stops later and went to a public library to use their computer. He plugged in the USB again. This time the folder structure was different, a single new text file appeared titled Follow the Map. It contained coordinates to a warehouse outside town. He hesitated, then downloaded the location onto his phone. Part of him screamed to forget all this, but curiosity and fear drove him on. He reached the warehouse. It looked abandoned, rusted gate chained and padlocked. He broke the lock and entered. Inside it smelled like dust and old oil. The sound of dripping water echoing through the dark. He turned on his phone flashlight and froze. There was another laptop sitting on a table next to it, a note written in his handwriting that said, "Play me." He swallowed hard, sat down, and opened the laptop. As soon as he pressed the power button, the screen lit up, showing live CCTV footage of his own apartment, empty, except for a figure standing near the window. It was him again, older, same tired eyes, same gray stubble. "I told you not to come here, Alex," the voice said through the speakers. "But I knew you had curiosities, the one thing we never fix." Alex whispered, "Who are you?" The man sighed, "I'm you. Or at least what's left of you, you created. Me last year, you don't remember. Because they erased it. The USB is your key. It's what connects our timelines. You found it too early again." Alex's hands shook. "What are you talking about?" The older Alex leaned closer to the camera. "There's an organization called Chronex. They were testing neural time mapping. You signed up for it. They promised you memory transfer across time, but what they didn't tell you was every transfer copies you. It doesn't move you. Each copy dies within 48 hours, and I'm one of those copies. So are you." The younger Alex felt dizzy. "Not possible." "I'd remember." The older Alex nodded. "No, you wouldn't, because every time a new copy is made, they erase the memory. It's how they keep the experiment clean. I sent the USB back as a warning, but every version of you always finds it." Too soon, Alex backed away from the screen, his voice shaking. "So what happens to me now?" The older version looked almost sorry. "You already know tomorrow at midnight. Your body shuts down, no pulse, no warning. It's programmed that way. It's the price of crossing time. I can't stop it, but you might, if you break the loop, find the original USB. The first one before it was copied. That's the only way to end it." Suddenly, the warehouse lights flickered, a sound of engines outside. Alex looked around. In panic, the man on the screen looked past the camera and whispered, "They found you." The screen went black. Alex ran out the back door. As dark SUVs pulled up outside, flashlights sweeping through the shadows. He sprinted through the muddy path. Heart pounding, his phone buzzed again. Unknown calling. He didn't answer this time. It buzzed again and again, until he finally screamed, "Leave me alone." But when he looked down, the message on screen said, "Run." A split second later, a bullet shattered the wall beside him. He dived behind an old truck and crawled through a fence, cutting his hands on the wire. He ran into the woods, branches whipping his face, until he stumbled onto an old cabin door. Slightly open inside was a single flickering lamp and a mirror on the table. Something glimmered beneath it, another USB drive labeled the first. Shaking, he plugged it into his laptop. The screen blinked on and a video started. This time it was a lab filled with scientists. He saw himself wearing a white coat, standing beside a glowing machine. Subject 47 initiating time transfer test 1. His voice said on camera. Another Alex stood on the platform. The same platform in the same warehouse. The screen distorted, showing flashes of static voices screaming, and then darkness. When the image returned, his older self was on the floor, lifeless. The video timestamp was dated 1 year ago. The screen glitched again, and now it was showing live footage of him sitting right there. Watching it, the camera zoomed slightly, like something was aware of him. A robotic voice echoed from the speakers. "Loop identified, correction initiated." His laptop screen flickered, showing rows of code and a timer counting down from 60. He panicked, hit the escape key. Nothing worked. His older self's voice echoed faintly through the speakers. "Alex, if you're hearing this, you have 30 seconds left to choose. Destroy the USB and end the loop, or run again and let it start over the Choice is yours. Alex looked at the glowing USB, trembling, his thoughts spinning. Was this even real or some elaborate hallucination? He yanked the USB out, the timer stopped, but the room around him seemed to shift, the air heavy like static reality. Bending for a second, the lamp flickered, and he saw shadows of himself, dozens of them, all watching him through the mirror, each one mouthing the same words. "You can't break time, Alex, it always reboots." His reflection smiled, even though he wasn't smiling. It whispered softly, "Welcome back to the beginning." And the room went black when Alex opened his eyes. He was lying on the same wet road outside his office, the same rain falling, the same USB drive gleaming beside his foot, the same sticker, "Tomorrow." He looked up dazed, saw himself in the reflection of a store window, and felt his pocket heavy with another identical USB. His phone buzzed a notification. Video saved successfully. Alex_read_21_10_2025. He looked. At the date, it was still October 21st. He whispered in horror, "I'm already in the loop." He dropped the USB, but as it hit the ground, a faint whisper echoed from it. "See you tomorrow."